The Anderson House was built by Dr. John Anderson in 1814. The architectural style, Federalist, is a style that is very often confused with an earlier style known as Georgian. Now, before we delve into Federalist architecture, let's do a side-by-side comparison of some Georgian homes to this classic Federalist design. The biggest difference in the two styles is the name. Just like today, private homes in early America were often built from plan books, and in the 1700s, most of those plan books came from England. Those English plan books were called Georgian because they represented the era of King George. But after the Revolutionary War, most Americans wanted to divorce themselves from anything associated with King George. New Americans wanted a style that reflected the spirit of a new nation. Enter Robert Adam. Robert Adam was an architect from Scotland who spent his early years studying the classic architecture of ancient Rome. His new plan's very similar to Georgian, square and symmetrical, with a centered door and an odd number of multi-pane windows. It is true that Robert Adam's designs were similar to the Georgian style. It is true that Robert Adam wasn't from the United States. But it is also true that Robert Adam's designs at least weren't Georgian. Close enough. Robert Adams' designs became a favorite here in America, and they coincided with a rise of a brand new political movement, Federalism. The Federalist Party, formed by Alexander Hamilton in the 1790s, and it favored a fiscally and militarily strong government. It was tied philosophically to the ancient Roman Republic. Robert Adams' Roman influences reflected that philosophy. So the plans of Robert Adam, a Scotsman, became adopted here in America as Federalist. Standard Federalist features here on the Anderson House include the fan light over the door, the arched windows here in the dormers. There are 7 windows across on the second floor. Federalist homes always have an odd number of windows on the second floor. In keeping with the new American spirit, most Federalist homes also included icons of early America, like the Stars and Stripes or a bust of George Washington. One of the most popular icons included in Federalist homes was the American Eagle. Dr. Anderson placed that American Eagle in a very conspicuous place. It's here on his front door. Still the original door knocker. If you look closely, you can still see Dr. Anderson's name engraved in the metal. Some atypical additions were made to this Federalist home to accommodate the special needs of Dr. Anderson. You see, Anderson was a local physician, and he wanted to incorporate his medical office into his home. So a second door was included at the front of this building, a second door that opened directly into Dr. Anderson's waiting room. Another unique feature of this home can only be seen from the inside, and this feature was added to solve a very unusual need. Dr. Anderson served the area as a physician, yes, but he was also the developer of the Bedford Springs Hotel, just south of town. The waters of the Bedford Springs had long been a draw to visitors from around the country, and those waters became the centerpiece of a renowned spa. Dr. Anderson built the Bedford Springs Hotel in 1806 to lodge visitors, and within several years, the Bedford Springs Hotel had made Dr. Anderson a very rich man. Each week, Dr. Anderson hired armed guards to transport money brought in from the hotel to the closest banks in Chambersburg or Pittsburgh. Each week, Dr. Anderson's money was costing him money. So Dr. Anderson approached Solomon Filler to order what was to become the most unique feature of this building. Along the far wall of Dr. Anderson's waiting room, Solomon Filler built a bank vault. Dr. Anderson hired a bank manager, and by 1815 he had opened the Allegheny Bank of Pennsylvania. You'll find old Georgian and Federalist homes throughout the Northeast. A great example of Federalist architecture, with a couple of unusual twists, is this home built by Dr. John